These are 10 times Simpsons characters got caught. The family works together to better their relationship, but then Marge finds out about Homer's secret Vegas wife. Brawl in the family starts with the Simpsons, well, having a family brawl. They start fighting over none other than Monopoly. Bart takes all of Homer's money, but then Lisa notices his houses are made of Legos. Marge tries to calm the situation by saying it was probably an accident.
You take his side just because he bought you that house on St. James Place.
Bart says that he had to do it because who else would take care of Marge? Homer? Oh, he crossed the line. They start fighting, and Marge is trying to separate them.
That's not how you pry them apart.
I've been prying them apart since before you were born.
That's disturbing to hear. Maggie's upset by this and she dials 911, and the police come to their house. They put the whole family in jail and send in a social worker to help them resolve their problem.
In a difficult case like this, I like to observe each family member individually.
Oh, he's in for a treat. First up is Lisa. She tells Gabrielle that her room is her sanctuary, and her family respects it.
I got sprayed by a skunk. Let me rub it off in your sweater.
Just 10 more years. Just 10 more years.
Yeah, write this down, Gabrielle, you're gonna need it. Then comes Bart.
My personal social worker. He has to be here. I'm just that nuts.
Attention-seeking much? Then Marge.
So I make a few practice dinners before showtime, 'cause at 6 o'clock, we go live.
She's stressed. And lastly, Homer. He takes Gabriel to Moe's.
Go, Bart, and the fat guy. I lose him.
Yeah, that speaks volumes. Gabriel takes them to the woods to show them how to solve their problems. He packed a bag of lunch and put it at the top of a tree, so they must work together to bring it down. But when Homer hears there's beer packed, he takes matters into his own hands.
Give me that beer!
Now they have to work to save Gabriel and the lunch. They come up with a plan to save Gabriel. Homer climbs down to get him, and Marge pulls them up with the car, only she twists her ankle. She asks Bart if he could drive.
But it's my first time.
Here's the keys.
I got a set.
That doesn't seem like his first time. They manage to save Gabriel and work together as a family.
We've been through some 280 adventures together, but our bond has never been stronger.
Lisa says that maybe this could be the end of their series of events, which was a great pun, Lisa. But when they get back home, two women are waiting outside.
Oh, it's the woman I married in Vegas.
Gabriel is disgusted by this, and he tells Homer he's a very bad man.
Your seed should be wiped from the earth. No offense, children.
Now, I think that's the first time someone's been so appalled by Homer. Homer shows Marge the video of him and Ned marrying those women in Vegas, and he tries to get out of the blame by saying the liquors have drunken him. Like, that makes the situation better.
Look, I did marry her, but I abandoned her. Amber, tell her how I abandoned you.
And just as things were starting to look up for them, Homer tries to make things right by annulling his other marriage, but bigamy is legal in Vegas. So now he has to take care of two wives. Marge kicks him out to sleep in the treehouse, but she didn't count on the fact that Amber was gonna sleep up there too.
Buster, oh, you do that like a pro.
She's making him a sandwich.
Well, Marge, you know Homer better than we do, if you say so. The next day, Marge is ready to talk to Homer again.
Talk about what? Sports? Bigamy?
Bigamy.
Not a sports fan, huh?
This is not a time to crack jokes, Homer. Amber hears them fighting, and Marge kicks Homer out.
I would, if it wasn't for the kids.
Hey, the heart wants what it wants, dude. We had a good run.
Homer takes Amber to Moe's and gets her drunk. The next morning, she wakes up in the treehouse next to Grandpa.
I'm your new husband, and that was a wedding night I'll never forget.
Whatever you do, don't picture it. Amber doesn't remember a thing, but thankfully, there's a video that proves everything.
Lawful wedded husband renouncing all others.
Oh, sure. He paid for the hour.
Amber is horrified by the whole situation, and she runs out with Ginger, and they return to Vegas.
I'm so proud of us. When we stick together, we can do anything.
And that couldn't be more true, because working together also saved them a lot of money. The Simpsons go to Costa Rica and reveal the Big Van Houten secret. Livin La Pura Vida starts with Luann asking Marge if she and her family would like to go with them to Costa Rica.
I've always dreamed of being invited on this trip, and now it's about to happen. Play it cool, Marge.
Since when does she play it cool? Marge alerts her family about the trip, but later, Lisa overhears her and Homer talking about how expensive the trip is.
The hope of going on this trip is the only reason I've allowed Bart to stay friends with Milhouse.
That explains a lot. Homer isn't sure about the whole thing since they don't have much money, but Marge convinces him because if Kirk and Luann can afford it, so can they.
We can never be poor as long as we have each other.
Oh, yes we can.
How awful it must be for her to be the only responsible one in the family. They get to the airport the next day, and Homer is checking out who they're traveling with. There's the Van Hotens, Hibberts, Superintendent Chalmers and his daughter. So far, so good. But then Homer sees Patty.
You deliberately hid this from me until it was too late to back out.
Yes.
Don't try to deny it.
She literally just admitted it. Marge asks Homer to be nice to Evelyn and Patty. They start a bit on the wrong foot, as Patty has told Evelyn so much about Homer. But then things take a turn when...
You also follow the Pro Cornhole Tour?
Sure do.
maybe they're more alike than they think.
Homer, put your phone away. Evelyn, please.
Yeah, they sure are. The next day, everyone goes shopping, only Evelyn and Homer stay in the house so they could go to the beach. But when everyone got back, they had something to see. So they met some awesome monkeys on the beach, and...
We said they could crash here in exchange for them being hilarious.
Oh, this doesn't make Marge look like the cool woman she wants to be.
Sweetie, you did not tell me your brother-in-law was such a fun guy.
Homer and Evelyn point out that they've become amigos. Yeah, they should be happy, but there's a big reason they're not. The next day, they're getting ready to go to a waterfall. The whole reason why Marge wanted to go on the trip so badly is so she and Homer could take a picture in front of it. She asks Homer to behave nicely for the rest of the trip.
But you wanted me to be nice to Patty's girlfriend, and guess what? She's cool.
Homer promises he won't be drinking for the rest of the trip, and that he'll be on his best behavior. Meanwhile, Lisa is in a frenzy over how much money the trip's gonna cost, so Bart suggests they find Milhouse's dad's notebook, in which he writes how much money everyone owes, so they can show it to their parents before it's too late.
What's that thing? Grappling hook made of Patty's underwire bra and Dad's bathing suit drawstring.
Well, you gotta give it to Bart, he is creative. Lisa finds an ancient artifact in Milhouse's dad's room. Lisa explains that nobody knew what they were for, but they had stumbled upon priceless artifacts.
So what is Milhouse's loser dad doing with them?
A question that'll have to wait for the answer, because Kirk just stormed in sick to his stomach after drinking river water. Back at the waterfall, Marge is getting ready to take the photo, but she doesn't know that Evelyn got Homer drunk.
You've been drinking.
Homer says that Evelyn spiked his drink, or in his words, added some southern charm.
That woman, she brings out the worst in you.
Gee, Marge, sounds like you think Homer is cheating on you. But while they were fighting, they didn't realize they took a nice picture. Marge was finally happy when Evelyn jumped into the water and their phone slipped.
Come back, camera fish!
Well, it was a nice memory while it lasted. Marge is upset, and so is Patty. She blames Homer for Evelyn's behavior. Marge tells her that she's put up with her criticizing Homer for years, and for the first time, it's not his fault. Evelyn got him drunk and ruined her dream photo.
She may be Southern, she may be a woman, but you're dating a Homer.
Well, that's gonna scar Patty for life. Lisa and Bart show Marge what they found in the Van Hotens' room.
They are smuggling these artifacts home to sell. That's how they can afford this vacation.
The secret is out, except
These souvenirs were supposed to be our end of multifamily vacation gift to you all.
uh-oh, they spoke too soon. The next day, the Simpsons packed their bags to go home, and it's time they paid their bill.
Lisa was right. We really couldn't afford this trip.
But wasn't your parole, we can't be poor when we're together? Patty broke up with Evelyn after realizing she was the female Homer.
I know you feel bad, Mom, but the lady is a Homer.
The Simpsons see that the Van Hotens charged them for the salt and pepper shakers, even though they were a gift. Plus, they didn't even give them to them. So they decide they're gonna break into the room again to get the gift they were promised.
Oh, so that explains it.
But what's the secret? They all meet at the zip line and they reveal the secret to everyone. They were hiding the portrait of explorer Kirkademius Van Houten, who settled the area for a Dutch cracker trading company.
And he built this house.
Which your family still owns.
Ooh, caught just before they could cash the checks. Everyone is stunned and they chase the Van Hotens down the zip line. Marge talks to Patty while they zipline, because that's the appropriate time to have a difficult conversation. She tells her she knows her and Evelyn broke up.
Evelyn is your Homer, and no one else will ever understand why you love her except for you.
But there's one huge difference between them.
Evelyn loves you, and Homer hates you more than anything in the world.
She adds that Homer feels sorry for Selma because she has to live with Patty. Aw, that's the sweetest thing Patty has ever heard. They come down and Homer takes back his check.
Take away a man's only source of income. No, it's real classy.
Have you ever heard of a real job? Does that ring a bell? Marge is happy since she got a nice vacation, even if she didn't get the photo she wanted.
Vacations aren't about the perfect photo. It's about being in the moment and living your Vida.
It's nice to see them getting along and protecting each other, but Bart takes this lesson too far and starts protecting criminals. Bart does Snake Jailbird a favor, and he starts showering him with gifts. Stolen gifts, to be exact. Lucas starts with Bart being late for school for a good reason. Homer got stuck in a children's park. But Skinner doesn't believe him and wants to punish him, so Bart runs away.
Woo!
safe.
Oh, not totally.
Bart asks him what he's doing there, which is an awfully stupid question, but okay. And Snake says he's hiding from the cops.
Well, I can't have cops sniffing around here. Some of them might be girls.
Yeah, that's your biggest problem. Jailbird says he's only committed the robbery so he could get his son Jeremy braces. In that moment, Chief Wiggum shows up.
Bart, we're in whatchamacallit, a pursuit.
So why'd you come here? I run a respectable treehouse.
A respectable treehouse filled with a bunch of stolen stuff. Wiggum says that he knows Bart will snitch for candy, and he gives him a chocolate bar. Bart starts by describing Snake, but then...
Say he was gonna hide out on top of Mount Springfield.
Add this to Bart's resume, the helper of criminals. Snake is surprised Bart helped him, and he asks him why he'd do it.
We outlaws have to stick together.
Outlaw? You?
Stolen bowling shoes, 3D glasses, crusty standee.
Jailbird wants to do something nice in return, so he offers Bart tickets to his son's school musical, but Bart politely declines and says he's busy that night.
Yeah, lucky you.
The next day, Bart comes home to see he got a PlayStation 4, aka the Simpson version of a PlayStation.
Something's fishy, Bart. Where's the gift receipt?
Uh-oh, Milhouse is getting suspicious.
I have a feeling this PlayStation was liberated from its previous owner.
Liberated?
Catch on, Milhouse. For someone who's supposed to be smart, you're really slow. Bart gets all sorts of gratitude presents from Snake, and he and Milhouse enjoy the free stuff for a while. But then, one day...
It's full of lame apps. Bully Avoider, Nose Book, Instagram. This was stolen from Milhouse!
Well, Jailbird couldn't have known they're friends. This time, Milhouse is not giving up, and he demands Bart tell him the truth.
I helped Snake out of a jam, so he paid me back in stolen stuff. It was an honorable arrangement.
Yes, very honorable, protecting a criminal in return for stolen stuff.
Snake, eh? I never would have suspected the one criminal in town.
But the next day, when they were watching TV, Bart and Milhouse heard that Snake has been arrested.
For a series of thefts and may be put to death under a controversial new statute.
Well, that's a bit extreme for a few thefts.
I just wanted to ruin his life, not end it.
You ratted him out? Oh, he's got a kid.
Milhouse feels bad because he knows how he felt when his dad left, let alone died, so they need to come up with a plan to get Snake out of jail. Bart confesses to the whole thing.
Plea denied. Warm up the electric chair, Lou.
But Lou isn't the best at assembling the I Kill Ya furniture. Thankfully, someone's fluent in Swedish.
Fluently?
Yeah?
Very convincing. Snake manages to get Chief in a headlock, and the Chief lets him go.
You won't need to save me a third time. If I get caught, it's suicide by cop.
Good to know.
It means I get you to shoot me, dude.
Wiggum adds that is still a lot of paperwork. Everybody likes free stuff, but would any of them go so far as to steal from a family member? Lisa's college fund is stolen, and the family wants to find out who did it. Woohoo Dunnit starts as a crime documentary.
Marge and Homer raise their 3 kids in an atmosphere of love, laughter, and crushing economic anxiety.
Yeah, well, 3 kids and 1 paycheck isn't really easy to handle. Everything started when Marge and Lisa were coming back from a trip to the market. There, we find out that Marge and Lisa were having a secret college fund.
Whatever we didn't spend, I donate to Lisa's secret college fund.
But how does no one else know about that?
He hid it in the last place the men in this family would look.
Honestly, very smart. But when they went to put the money into the fund, there was nothing there. The whole fund, $670, gone.
There's been a robbery. Send help. 742 Evergreen Terrace.
It wouldn't hurt you to say please.
No wonder their crime rates are skyrocketing. But the break-in wasn't typical. No sign of forced entry, and the dog didn't even bark.
With zero evidence of a break-in, police suspicion turned to the family.
Well, I could have told you that without any investigation. Of course it's one of them. They aren't really swimming in money.
We are good people. We do not steal.
Tell that to, well, anyone in your family. The police got a tip from Helen Lovejoy.
She told my husband, the minister, that she was an addict. In confidence, but, you know.
Great advertising for your church, Helen. Marge said she kicked the habit, but the temptations were big. But she managed to resist them.
With Marge's name cleared, the police moved to the next suspect on their list. Homer Simpson.
I'm surprised he wasn't the first suspect. Homer's beer tab was getting out of control, so Moe cut him off. The theory is that he came home wasted, stumbled into the kitchen, and fell, and then he found the money under the sink, and used it to pay his tab. They know he went to the kitchen because it was covered in spaghetti sauce.
That pasta fought hard for its life.
I'm sorry, I can't continue.
You should have seen what he does with the donuts he eats. But then Homer cleared his name. He butt dialed someone for 6 hours, and in that time they heard that Homer licked the kitchen clean. The investigation moves to Bart.
Like any normal healthy boy, Bart has been the focus of numerous police investigations.
No, Marge, that's not normal. Milhouse tells the police that Bart took the money.
I admit I knew about the money under the sink, but whatever I borrowed, I always put back.
But what would he need that money for?
Slime. Bart was buying slime.
Ah, yes, slime. The disgusting thing the whole world was raving about.
My plan was if I owned all the slime, I'd set the price. Except that's when the bottom fell out.
But luckily, there was one person who bought it all. Comic book guy. So Bart put all the money back under the sink, and of course,
I filmed it because I knew no one would believe me.
That's a smart thing to do when you live among people who never believe a word that comes out of your mouth. The only person left is Lisa.
No one, I repeat, no one would believe Lisa could do it.
But she did want a new sax.
A smooth phone jazz honker in black nickel, but I wouldn't steal for it.
And she didn't. Krusty bought it. So the mystery remains unsolved.
What matters is that we enjoyed watching bad things happen to human beings who aren't us.
That's what true crime is all about. Later, Homer and Marge were enjoying some drinks when Marge pulled out a Snap-on coaster for their glasses. When Homer asked her where she got it, she said she invented it. She made 1,000 of them because she wanted to start a business.
It was only 65 cents a piece.
So, $650 total.
When did he get so good at math?
It was always you!
Marge, starting your business. Again, don't you remember the pretzel fiasco? Marge explains how she wanted to have something for herself, something that will make her somebody.
But I admit it, I was gambling. On myself.
The kids come and ask what's going on, and while Homer wanted to be in the right once, he said that the money was eaten by rats.
Homer and I had never been closer.
We shared a dark secret. It was so sexy.
Well, from every crime comes something good, right? Right? It does, but from every solved crime, Detective Lisa, take the charge. Bart gets accused of decapitating a valuable doll, so Lisa has to prove his innocence. Murder, She Boat starts with the Simpsons going on a cruise, but not just any cruise.
For fans of sci-fi, fantasy, comic books.
Oh, he's not gonna like this.
But those are all just different names for
nerds. That's gonna be tough on Homer. Bart sees that comic book guy is on the cruise, and he starts pouting, saying the cruise is now ruined. Marge asks him what does he have against him, and Bart explains what happened. He showed him one of his own comics, and
I'm going to fax this right away to my friends at Man You Suck Publishing.
Well, that was uncalled for. Bart swears that one day he'll get revenge on Comic Book Guy. They display the one-of-a-kind action figure, and Bart is mad that people are paying Comic Book Guy to see it. Bart is angry, saying that he's a dream-crushing guy, and he doesn't deserve $1.
I hope one day someone destroys the thing you love most.
That'd be hard, because every episode he changes his most valuable possession. But suddenly, someone turned off the lights, and when they turned them back on, the doll's head was gone.
I wager Bart Simpson did this. He had the motive. Means that is the recipe for murder.
Sure, just throw accusations around without any evidence. But then they see Bart has 3 tiny scratches on his cheek that perfectly fit the claws of the doll. Bart is thrown in boat jail, but he's to be put in regular jail when they reach land. He begs Lisa to help him, swearing on everything that he didn't do it.
You've beheaded many of my dolls.
Oh, those aren't valuable. They're yours.
Well, if that makes it right, then fine. Lisa believes him, and she wants to solve the mystery of who beheaded the doll.
I'll help you.
Taika Waititi? Seriously? You'll help me exonerate my brother?
Oh great, we get a cameo in this episode. They question every passenger to see who else hates Comic Book Guy. Turns out, it's everyone. Everyone had the motive. So Lisa's search isn't coming close to an end. Lisa went to clean the mess Bart left in their room, and she found the doll's head. She tells this to Homer and Marge, and says she can never trust him again.
Sometimes, no matter how much you love someone, they're just going to let you down.
Homer admits that he lets Marge down all the time as well, and that's the saddest truth of their marriage. As Lisa was about to give up, Rainier showed up to tell her that he knows who beheaded the doll, as he was wearing nighttime goggles at the time.
The doll murderer is none other than... Ouch!
Typical. Lisa runs after the person, but she loses him, and she's also starting to lose it herself. Then comic book guy's girlfriend comes and says that he's missing.
Bart's in jail. Our one credible witness just got sucker shielded. Comic book guy is missing.
Well, don't bring down the crowd like that. But suddenly, and I think a bit too suddenly, Taika realizes who murdered the doll. He gathers everyone to tell them that it was actually comic book guy.
So he turned off the lights and murdered the plastic action man himself for the insurance money.
Seems accurate. But Lisa realizes something too. She tells everyone that there were only 2 Radioactive Man dolls made.
What if the owner of the other doll received some bad news and broke their action figure in a fit of rage?
Okay, we're following. She goes to saying that the owner came on the cruise specifically to swap out their broken figure. She also says that she looked up that the other doll was sold in New Zealand,
Where they spell color with a U.
Also, the shield that incapacitated the only witness was covered with goo. The goo in question is Vegemite, the favorite food of Taika Waititi.
Or should I say, favorite?
I will never doubt the intelligence of Lisa Simpson ever again, and I suggest you do the same. Oh, and the scratches on Bart's cheek, they came from Homer's little fork when he was selfishly putting shellfish in his mouth like a savage. The crowd searches Taika's room and finds the Radioactive Man doll, but the question remains, where is comic book guy?
I mean, we looked everywhere. Except the one place he would never go.
He and Homer are awfully alike. He explains that he hid there after watching the tapes of people proclaiming how much they hated him. So Bart is exonerated, and he thanks Lisa for helping him.
You never lost faith in me.
Well, if I'm being totally honest, I never did.
A little lie never hurt no one. I take that back, a lie absolutely hurts when it comes from your wife. Homer learns how to pirate movies, but when he gets on the FBI's radar, things go south for him. Steal This episode starts with Bart showing Homer how to pirate a movie, since he can't go to the theater to watch the new Radioactive Man.
Illegally downloaded? Is that legal?
Does he know the meaning of illegal?
How did you know how to do that?
I'm under 30?
Oh, these new generations. Homer shows Lenny and Carl his new trick, watching the movies for free at home.
I am inspired to create a theater for the people.
He really doesn't know what keeping a low profile mean. Homer makes a little theater in his backyard, and Marge says how nice it was from the movie company to let him show their film.
Downloaded it off the internet illegally.
The first time he had to explain something to her, not the other way around.
But Hollywood says stealing from Hollywood is wrong.
Yeah, well, they also say the extortion of kids is wrong, but Marge says she feels bad for stealing with her eyes, so she writes Hollywood a check for the ticket and a little letter, and it leads to a series of over-exaggerated events.
From now on, you will lay down your lives to protect America's chick flicks.
And also stupid comedies and such. They go after Homer and stage a coup in his backyard.
I'm here to arrest and hopefully stage the prison suicide of the mastermind of this operation, Homer Simpson.
Mastermind? He clicked 2 buttons on the screen. They say they got a tip from a heroic American snitch. Homer is in disbelief. He can't believe one of his friends snitched on him.
Promise me you'll find out who turned me in. Probably someone I would never suspect.
Yeah, the woman you married. When he was being transported to the prison, other criminals ganged up on Homer when they heard about his piracy.
People in show business work hard to make those movies.
Yeah, and then they overcharged the tickets. Their van crashes and Homer takes a train back to Springfield. Bart is enraged at the person who snitched on Homer, but Marge is trying to calm him down by telling him that stealing is wrong.
I just can't imagine anyone turning him in.
Yeah, Marge, that pacifier might be the only thing you have left after they find out it was you who snitched on your husband. In that moment, Homer comes back, and Lisa says that there's one place that will take them in, the Swedish embassy.
The people of Sweden believe all movies should be shared freely.
Ah, Sweden, the country where everything's possible. The FBI found them, but since they can't come in to get Homer, they wait until he comes to them.
Thank you so much for sticking with me through all this. You're the greatest wife in the world.
Marge can't take the pressure anymore, so she admits to telling the FBI about Homer's crime.
All I ever had was you looking out for me. I got nothing now.
What about your 3 children? Homer turns himself in, and the judge finds him guilty, but Marge encourages him to tell his side of the story.
I made my own rules and fought the big guys who tried to destroy my way of life.
They seem convinced that he doesn't sound like a villain at all. Oh, the movie buffs. You can convince them of anything. They like Homer's story so much, they want to make it into a movie, and they drop all charges.
They make movies about people standing up to big corporations trying to squash them.
and winning.
So basically every Simpson episode ever. Funny how Marge was having so much trouble with Homer stealing when she was the one who went to jail for the same thing. Marge goes to prison after forgetting to pay for all the items in her cart, which results in Springfield falling apart. Marge in Chains starts with Springfield being caught in a massive flu epidemic, and Marge has to take care of everyone in the family. She's a bit overwhelmed, but she's doing fine considering
Can you bring me more OJ? Can you get me some of those Flintstones chewable morphine?
she's living with 4 children. Plus, Grandpa's there and he is asking for bourbon. So she goes to the store. She's tired, her head is spinning,
OJ, morphine! OJ, morphine!
and she forgets to pay for the bourbon in her pocket.
You did not pay for this bottle of Colonel Quickie Mart's Kentucky bourbon.
Well, she'll just pay for it now and go about her way, right? Nope, the police come and arrest her. Now she has to go to trial for one simple bottle of liquor.
Mr. Hutz, this was all a misunderstanding. I didn't mean to take anything.
You hired the worst lawyer in town. Do you really think it matters if it was a misunderstanding or not? Homer tries to talk to Apu and get him to drop charges, but he won't. The word of Marge's indiscretion travels quickly, and soon everyone in town thinks she's a shoplifting maniac, or dare I say, a klepto. The trial seems to be going okay for Marge, despite Helen Lovejoy's accusations about her being an alcoholic.
Kids, I got a crazy feeling your mom's not going to prison.
It is a crazy feeling, because you did nothing to help her case.
Mr. Hutz, when I grow up, I want to be a lawyer just like you.
No, Bart, not like him, everything but him. But the jury finds Marge guilty anyway.
Marge Simpson, I sentence you to 30 days in prison.
30 days isn't too bad when you actually did the crime. The kids are saying their goodbyes to Marge.
Don't worry, Mom. I'll bust you out of there just as soon as I get a cocktail dress and a crowbar.
That's a sweet seduction plan, Bart, really. Homer tells Marge he's gonna miss her too.
And it's not just the sex, it's also the food preparation. Your skill with stains of all kinds.
So just get them made. Marge goes to prison, but surprisingly, it's not as bad as she thought.
It's so nice not to have to cook.
You mean your husband never cooked for you?
He did a lot less than that. At home, Homer comes up with a new way of living while Marge is gone.
Drink straight from the faucet or milk carton, and we'll eat while standing over the sink or toilet.
Bart asks who's gonna be changing Maggie, and Homer has a solution for that too.
We're gonna let her roam free in the backyard, and nature will take its course.
Why don't you do the same, see how it feels? The kids start running out of clean clothes to wear pretty soon, because they're kids.
Go up to the attic. There's a whole trunk of clothes up there.
Oh, what a beautiful bride. They go to visit Marge, and when she asks how are things at home, the answer is concerning.
We flushed the gator down the toilet, but it got stuck halfway, and now we have to feed it.
But the Simpsons house isn't the only thing that's falling apart without Marge. Springfield is, too.
This never would have happened if Marge Simpson was here.
Yeah, well, think about it next time you send an innocent woman to prison. Marge gets out, and she's met with a warm welcome from everyone in town.
Well, we never should have let you go. From now on, I'll use my gossip for good instead of evil.
How thoughtful. If this much mayhem was brought upon Springfield over one lousy bourbon, imagine just how big of a mess would come from stealing $1 trillion. Homer doesn't do his taxes on time, so to get out of going to jail, he has to help the FBI catch Mr. Burns. The trouble with trillions begins on January 1st, New Year's Eve.
January 1st? Better get going on those taxes, Nettie.
Like every responsible anal citizen. Fast forward to April, when the lines at the post office are astronomical because nobody filed their taxes on time.
The harder you push, the faster we will all get out of here.
I don't think it works that way.
Will you look at those morons? I paid my taxes over a year ago.
Who's gonna tell him? Homer realizes he didn't do his taxes, so he starts scribbling something down.
So just estimate. 9.
Homer, you know we don't have...
Shut up. If I don't hear you, it's not illegal.
Someone write that down. That's my new life motto. Homer drives like a maniac to get to the post office on time.
If I don't see it, it's not illegal.
He manages to get there just in time to throw his package, if you could even call it that. I don't know if he thought that his scribbles could be taken seriously, but the government arrests him. They say he's facing at least 5 years in prison, and Homer begs them not to send him there. They reach an agreement.
They want you to spy on your friends?
I'd like to say I'm surprised, but I'm not.
Does this make me look fat?
No, it makes you look like a tool of government oppression.
But not fat.
Sometimes I wonder if instead of a grown man's brain, Homer has a teenage girl's. So Homer starts spying on his friends, and he does a good job. But the next assignment is more serious. He's to spy on Mr. Burns in hopes of finding a $1 trillion bill he stole after World War II.
But Mr. Burns gave me my job, and he hasn't fired me even after 3 meltdowns and 1 China syndrome.
Honestly, Mr. Burns may be evil, but he's got a forgiving heart. Homer goes to Mr. Burns' house to try and find the stolen bill. Mr. Burns is surprised to see him, and he reluctantly invites him inside. He asks him what brings him to his home. Homer says he knows Burns is a loner.
But we both know that deep down inside, still cold.
Why'd he invite him inside if he was going to try to kick him out? Mr. Burns shows Homer around his enormous mansion, and finally, they get to a statue of Burns holding a $1 trillion bill.
It commemorates my liberation of $1 trillion. Let's move.
Well, that was surprisingly easy. Homer asks if that's the real bill, and Burns says that it isn't, of course.
I keep the real bill right here.
Wow, that must be worth a fortune.
A $1 trillion fortune. FBI barges in and arrests Burns, but he has a few things to say first.
I'm not the thief. The government is.
He says that every year the government makes hard-working people pay taxes for basically nothing.
Do-nothing nuclear missiles. Tomb polish for some unknown soldier.
Sadly, he's right. As he's being taken away, Burns tells Homer that he must not be silenced.
Don't let the government push you around. You have a choice. Fight back.
Wow, Mr. Burns is an activist? This makes Homer rethink everything, so he knocks the agents out and saves Mr. Burns. They start running away and going to Smithers so he can help them get out of this mess.
Well, now our own government is hunting us down like a couple of common snow leopards.
It's an outrage, sir.
Oh, he just hates being a part of this. They get to Mr. Burns' plane, and he says they're gonna go to some island where no one will find them and buy it. The FBI goes to the Simpsons' house to ask Marge where she thinks her husband would go with $1 trillion.
My dad has $1 trillion? Wow! I can buy and sell your sorry ass.
If that money ever reaches Bart's hand, everyone is doomed. Homer, Mr. Burns, and Smithers land in Cuba, and they go and meet with the president. Well, Castro is having a bit of trouble. He's bankrupt. Castro decides to abandon communism.
But we all knew from day one this mumbo-jumbo wouldn't fly.
Yeah, well, everyone knew, but you still decided to go with it. When Burns hears that Cuba isn't for sale, he asks Castro if he and his friends could live in his socialist paradise.
All we ask is preferential treatment because of my fabulous wealth.
Castro asks to see the bill, and Burns reluctantly gives him the bill. Big mistake.
Now give it back.
Give what back?
Epic mistake.
It's hard to believe there's a place worse than America, but we found it.
Now they're stranded at sea with the U.S. government just waiting for their return. Burns says that if it's a crime to steal from his own government and
hand it over to communist Cuba, then I'm guilty of that too.
God bless America!
Before we take a look at another treason-themed episode, let's take a look at this lighter version of treachery. Selling out your parents. The kids wage war on adults and spill all their secrets for everyone to hear. Wild Bart's Can't Be Broken opens with Homer, Lenny, Carl, and Barney trashing the school after getting wildly drunk at Moe's. The next morning, Chief Wiggum announces that it was the kids who did it, and he reinforces a curfew.
The cops can't just slap a curfew on us. We have rights.
Sure you do. You have the right to remain silent.
That is cold, Marge. Really cold. The kids are bitter about not being able to go outside after dark. Bart and Lisa see a commercial showing a new horror movie, but the screening is after dark.
Milhouse, spread the word. We're seeing this movie tonight. That's right. We're breaking curfew.
Those little rebels. All of the Springfield children break curfew to see the movie, but Chief Wiggum catches them.
Listen up, punks. The moral of the story is, the adults always win.
That's a great lesson, Chief. Maybe the next one could be on oppression. The punishment for breaking curfew is cleaning the new billboard Chief got.
And let this be a lesson to you. Kids never learn.
He's really inspirational lately. The kids are mad and they want to fight back, but don't know how. Lisa comes up with an idea.
We already know their secret.
She's right. Homer's done a ton of crap that never made the papers.
Martin says his mom shoplifts all the time. And Nelson's dad gets in car accidents on purpose.
Great, this is all gold.
The kids gather all sorts of technical equipment and decide to broadcast their little show on radio.
Tonight's program is entitled, We Know All Your Secrets.
They reveal Chief's secrets and Edna Krabappel. And finally, they get to Homer.
He likes to eat out of the Flanders garbage?
I have a problem.
Oh, he's absolutely right. He does have a problem. That's despicable. The kids say they'll be revealing secrets every day till the curfew is lifted.
Well, at least they've already done me.
And we have plenty more on Homer Simpson.
Did he truly think he was off the hook? The whole show could be about him and his embarrassing secrets. People gather at a town meeting to talk about what their next move will be, but Otto interrupts it with the newest show.
Luann Van Houten has been cheating on her boyfriend with his best friend, Gyro.
Oh, Milhouse is done for. People get even more angry, and the mayor tries to calm them down by saying Wiggum is out there trying to locate the children. But the kids continue.
And guess who's been practicing medicine without a license? That's right, Homer Simpson.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise anyone, but why was Hibbert sweating so much? In that moment, Wiggum and Professor Frink locate the kids and try to get them to come down. Wiggum promises they won't kill them when they come down.
Speak for yourself. Bart, get down here. I'm gonna spank you back to the Stone Age.
Child services? Anyone? The kids won't come down, and a fight breaks out.
Adults treat kids like children!
Kids treat adults like cash machines.
Well, maybe if the parents spent more time paying attention to their kids, they wouldn't only be speaking to them when they need cash. That's my 2 cents. The fight goes on, but then the elderly come.
We're gonna teach all you rugrats a lesson.
What can you old people do to us?
The same thing you're trying to do with your kids.
This is Kent Brockman reporting from my own home in accordance with the new curfew.
Homer says he can't believe this curfew passed, and Lisa replies.
I warned you guys that seniors always vote in record numbers.
That's nothing new, unfortunately. Betraying your parents is one thing, but your country, that's treachery. Homer joins the Marines. But then his commie-looking past comes to say hello. Simpson Tide begins when Homer loses his job and decides to enroll in the military navy. Homer asks Lisa if she'd be proud of him if he joined the Naval Reserve, and she replies,
Sort of.
Then I'll do it.
Maybe Homer isn't always being a self-centered man. Marge doesn't like the whole idea, and she asks Homer if he thought about what would happen if he got called into combat.
We live in a highly technological age where fighting a war is as simple as turning off a light.
U.S. citizens beware, because this is the man who's going to be protecting your country. Homer tells his friends about his plan, and they all decide to follow in his footsteps. First, Homer goes to military training where they take away his sense of personality.
No way, man. My hair is who I am.
Don't worry, buddy. You can't even notice it. In the meantime, Bart got his ear pierced because he saw it from Milhouse, but Homer doesn't know about it yet.
You're a disgrace to this family and its proud naval tradition.
The tradition standing the last couple of days. Homer got a position on a nuclear sub because of his many years working as a nuclear technician.
Nuclear. It's pronounced nuclear.
Sure it is. Homer goes on his first mission and he won't say bye to Bart, so he angrily takes off his earring and gives it to Homer before he leaves. In the sub, the commander leaves Homer in charge as he goes to check something out, but things quickly take a turn when Moe sees an enemy sub coming their way. Homer doesn't know what to do, so he thinks to himself, what would the captain say?
Don't fire the torpedoes!
Fire the torpedoes!
And the captain was inside a torpedo. Homer realizes what he'd done and now he's the one in charge, but they're completely out of equipment. Homer tries to navigate the sub towards Springfield.
Steady as she goes. And second thought, go right.
The other right. They swim across the ocean straight into Russian water. Meanwhile, Marge and the kids are watching the news. Kent Brockman says that treason season has started early this year as
The nuclear sub was hijacked by local man Homer Simpson.
Oh, that picture really bit him in the ass.
He may be a liar, a pig, an idiot, a communist.
Yes. So what's the conclusion? So now a nuclear war is on the horizon, and people are preparing. Not only that, but Homer's sub is leaking.
It's filling up with a clear, non-alcoholic liquid.
Like water? Homer realizes they're in a tough spot, but then he remembers something.
Dad, the earring could plug the hole.
Plug your hole. I mean, Eureka!
Homer puts the earring in the hole and saves his sub. When they float to the surface, he's given 10 seconds to explain why they're in international waters or they'll be shot.
It's my first day.
At least this time it's true. Homer gets discharged from the military and comes home.
Dishonorable discharge. It's the best we could have hoped for.
So far, so good. He was an astronaut, a Marine. What's the next position that could jeopardize the U.S.? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment sharing your favorite time a Simpson character got caught.